ADAC are Europe's largest motoring organisation, and they recently crash tested some popular small cabriolets to see what happens in a rollover accident. They found that Peugeot's 207cc was the safest thanks to extending rollover hoops at the back of the passenger cabin. Once a sensor detects you're about to turn turtle, they extend by 20 centimetres in just 175 milliseconds, forming a protective zone that keeps the occupants from smashing into the tarmac. It wasn't a totally glowing report though, as the experts deemed the windscreen pillars weren't strong enough. All of this got us thinking, what about older convertibles, the ones that don't have the modern pop-up safety equipment? Summer's here, and a pretty little 306 cabriolet like this comes in at just 1,500 quid. Now that's sorely tempting for a bit of summer fun. But exactly how safe are you if something goes wrong? We're going to find out by simulating a high-speed rollover ourselves. Euro NCAP awarded the Peugeot 306 hatchback a middling 3 stars, but they don't test for rollovers, so nobody knows how this car will perform. It's something that the American crash test authorities seem far more concerned with. They issue rollover ratings for new cars, probably because they love driving around in tall, wobbly SUVs so much. But they also say that sports cars and roadsters can roll over, especially if they're being driven aggressively by a young, inexperienced driver who's being put off by fluttering hair. Now, rollovers have a much higher fatality rate than other types of accidents, so exactly how does a car turn over? Well, the first way, in 95% of cases, it's because the car trips over something. So the car starts to drift off the side of the road at speed, clips a curb, and then flips. Or similarly, starts to understeer off, and then digs into the soft soil at the side of the verge, and rolls over. In the other 5% of cases, it's because the driver does some big, dramatic, accident-avoiding swerve, and it's the same result. We'll be making our car turn over by winching it up this Hollywood pipe ramp. Having retired to a safe distance first, of course. Our crash test dummies will show us what happens to the occupants. Those in the front will have their seatbelts on. Those in the back are a happy-go-lucky, carefree bunch, and will be travelling without any restraint at all. That's gonna wobble your wig. It was horrifying. The rear seat passengers were thrown clear, but then crushed by the car as it landed. We were glad this had been a test, rather than real life. No matter what the car is, you're 75% less likely to be killed if you're wearing a seatbelt. But the German experts at ADAC reckon it's time we fitted height-adjustable belts and pretensioners for rear passengers as well as those in the front. And, of course, make sure your passengers wear them. Right, I'd just like to introduce Matt Hillam. He's our resident crash expert here at the Fifth Gear Playground. So, as far as it goes, these things have a strengthened windscreen pillar, aren't they?
It would be ideal if the vehicle did have some kind of pop-up roll hoop or a retractable hoop that comes up from the back of the seats.
Of course, what modern cabriolets do have these days.
Absolutely, yes.
Let's have a look. Oh my God.
One would have to say it's very unlikely that either of the front seat occupants would have survived either, looking at how they're currently trapped in the car. There's nothing to stop it sort of crushing down upon itself. If you're going to roll a car over, this is possibly not the best of cars to roll over in.
American data says that 85% of all rollovers happen when there's no other vehicle involved, suggesting that it's driver error that causes the accident. So next time you're racing down country lanes, enjoying a bit of wind in the hair motoring, check your speed, otherwise you'll end up looking something like that.